Okay, so last time I was working on this, we got everything working. Well, not everything working. We got the basic two-player mechanics working, so the game is now a game. It's playable, yeah, at least in two players. But the code was really bad. And I had talked a little bit about perhaps refactoring into some kind of evented architecture or something. And I spent a little bit of time just kind of staring at this thing offline, and I realized I don't really need to fundamentally refactor anything. I just need to tidy up the code a little bit, especially regarding how data is passed around. So that's what we're going to work on tonight. We probably have a night or two of just kind of head down refactoring ahead of us here. So with that said, let's get started on it. I'm on a new branch because these are going to be fairly traumatic changes. And primarily what we need to do is move functionality out of this giant cursor update function, which I've been unhappy about for a long time, and move that up to this battle loop. This all needs to get refactored. I did some refactoring on this thing already off camera to make it a little bit tidier, and it's better than it was, but there's significant room for improvement here. So let's continue to write ugly programming, write ugly code, and not worry about it for now. This is definitely going to get worse before it gets better, but it will get better. The goal here is going to be to make the cursor logic a lot dumber, because right now it's responsible for, you know, what it should be responsible for moving the cursor. But it also, we've strangely implemented like a lot of the core battle logic there, and that is the fundamental problem as far as I'm concerned. So it makes it difficult to pass around. Oops. It makes it difficult to pass parameters around with that kind of cumbersome structure to things. There's something else I did off camera. This is trivial and obvious. I should have done it initially, but I'm replacing these stupid menu state flags with just some methods on the appropriate menus. Open? Yeah, open. Yes. So yeah, head down, refactoring tonight. I also, just in another project, I did some labbing with the animations and the coroutines, because again, as far as I can tell, using coroutines is the idiomatic way to do animations and pick away for the most part. And it's fine. I'm not sure if I strictly agree with the idiom that that's the best way to do things, but it's fine, it works. So once we get the refactoring done, then it'll be time to go back into the game and make it, start to make it prettier. And animations will be one of the first things we take a look at there. So let's see. This is all good. Now this needs to come out. Oh wait, before we do this, I might actually commit that minor change I just made. So let's see if I press Z, it should open the menu turn end, and it does. Okay. What do we have here? Just comments and crap. I just want that one line to go in. Commit message is bigger than the diff. So that goes in. Do I have any other stupid viz flags or whatever hanging around? Thought I got them all last time, but I guess I didn't. A lot of this stuff's going to go away too. I think I fell into the premature optimization trap with how I'm recording the selected unit and stuff. I think I want to move whether a unit is selected into unit state and then just iterate over units when I'm checking that or something, because that'll be a lot cleaner, and I would be absolutely stunned if that turned out to be a performance bottleneck anywhere. So probably going to refactor that out. So let's see, this thing needs to go. I'm still going to take out these giant lines too. Kanebo, hello. The game is going pretty well. Last session, we got it implemented such that it's now playable in two-player mode. It is now a proper game. So the core mechanics of power balancing are implemented, and the attack mechanics are all implemented. So that's the good news. The bad news was, at the time, we knowingly writ just some really heinous code to get that accomplished. So probably tonight and tomorrow night or so, we're gonna have to go heads down for a little bit and just kind of refactor all that garbage out. But once that is done, the game's going to be really in a pretty good place where, you know, the engine, the core mechanics and stuff are like very, very close to done. Yeah, nice, almost done. Yeah, it's very close. So what we're going to start doing on stream later in the week, next week, we're going to be ready to pivot finally toward, you know, less programming stuff and more game design kind of stuff, like planning and building our maps and our art and our sound effects. And I'm going to do music. I may or may not do music on stream because I really struggle with that, as this is my first exposure to music composition. But yeah, it's going pretty well. It's coming along. But yeah, tonight it's just heads down and we refactor, and We just gotta get this code into a good place, and then we'll be ready to do the really fun stuff, I think. But yeah, right now, I realized when I finished this the other night, pretty well organized. I try to be, partly out of necessity. I just have a difficult time working with bad code. So yeah, for me, refactoring is partially motivated by a desire to be a good software engineer or whatever, but primarily pragmatically motivated by the fact that I can't keep bad code in my head. Work on gameplay and level design at the same time sometimes. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, that would certainly be a valid approach too. It's not even for me a matter of being organized as much as, again, I can kind of only keep one thing in my head at the same time. It's not really a virtue as much as like a meatware limitation. So yeah, I figure I'll kind of power through this engine stuff, and then that'll give my mind the space to start thinking about the gameplay kind of stuff, if that makes sense. So let's see. What kind of games do you make, by the way? Were you working on the mobile game? Is that right? I'm trying to remember last time we chatted. So let's see, this is not self-cell X, this is cursor cell X. Correct. You worked on a platform game. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Oh, your English is fine. Yeah, I've never done a platformer. This is my first game. I almost feel like I need to do one though, right? It's like a platformer is almost like it's like the Hello World. It's like a rite of passage. You gotta make a platformer at some point. It's not a Hello World in that it's, you know, an inferior product or anything, but it's just such a like fundamental, foundational to the history of video games, right? It's like an important thing. Am I just gonna rip this whole block out? That's cool. Where did you publish it? Like, it seems like people publish to itch.2 a lot, or where'd you publish it? Because I don't have a plan yet for this one. Like, I'm gonna publish this when I'm happy with it. And I was thinking I'd put it on itch, and I don't know, maybe Steam if I got ambitious. It looks like you can put... There are Pick-A-Wait games on Steam, but I don't really have a plan. It's on itch? Okay. Do you want to link it? I'd like to see it. Feel free to drop a link in chat. It's fun seeing what other people are working on. I'm gonna pull all of this out, and we're just gonna break everything right now. Pull that up. That's cool. I need to put together a Windows machine so I can actually try it, because I would love to try it out. I don't actually have a Windows machine in my house, but I'm on PTO all week, so I think I'll build it tomorrow. Okay, cool. Yeah, doing some bug fixing. What'd you write this in? Oh, Unity. I see. That's cool. I've never done any work with Unity at all either. I've been watching some people work in it, but there again, I have no personal experience. Wait, I'm being stupid. Let's just align. Okay, let's just go line by line, I guess. Did I have a unit or an IDX already? I don't think I did. Okay. You wrote a devlog. Okay. Is that... I see. I'm gonna have to lean on Google Translate. Oh wait, no, you got some English at the bottom. That's cool. So you like jump and grapple hook around and stuff? So I'm just looking at the grapple hook mechanic here. After at the English version of the demo, yeah, sure. I wish I spoke French, but yeah, ignorant American here. Your grapple though reminds me of something I found just the other day. I was watching somebody, a speedrunner, play this thing. And it had a cool like grapple hook mechanic. This is an NES game, an independent game that was released in 2012, which I think is so cool. I would love to eventually make an NES game, you know, write it in assembly code like it's the 80s. Because I've never done an assembly project or an NES project beyond just some like trivial sprite modding kind of stuff. Maybe I'll add that to the queue, you know. I don't even know if people write NES games in assembly still. I assume they do, but I don't know. Maybe you can write them in C. I don't actually even know. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. It was a cool game. Good soundtrack and like really like a fun up-tempo gameplay. It was a speedrunner playing it, and you could tell the game was kind of designed with speedrunners in mind, because it had like an in-game timer and stuff. It was pretty cool to watch. There's something I don't know about Lua. I don't know if I can do this. If you can use the... I think you can use the colon. I have this physical book somewhere. Let me check something. I don't know if this colon only works with self, or if you can use it with like a table directly. I assume you can. Okay, it looks like you can. Okay, great. The less I have to change this, the less disastrous this is going to go, presumably. That's cool. Yeah, I think the grab mechanic is pretty neat in platformers. I haven't really seen it too much. I saw it in that game I just linked, and I saw someone playing something. I don't remember what it was. It was some Famicom game or something. that had a platformer with a grapple hook, but it's not a mechanic you see very often. And I think it really adds a lot to the gameplay. You know, I think it's just a good mechanic. Wait, let's see. I can just... Everything in here is cursor now. I should still go line by line, but maybe this won't be as bad as it could be. Last time I refactored this, I think I did this off camera, I refactored the inside of this cursor update method. Let's pull this out. And I just wrote some functions to make this a bit more literate. Like, you know, the friend method. There's a friend and a foe method now to determine if a unit is friendly or not, and just stuff like that to make this more readable, because otherwise the logic is really hairy, and it'd be like really hard to test. Something, you know, this isn't a job for tonight, but pretty soon I want to get serious about writing unit tests for all this stuff, now that the shape of the architecture will be resolved soon. I found a testing library, but I'm not thrilled with it because it can only test individual files at a time. And what I want is something that can test a suite of files and generate a code coverage report for all of them. Whereas right now, if I wanted a coverage report, I have to do it file by file, and that's, I don't know, it'd be inconvenient. Even if level design is bad, people seem to like the potential of the speed run. So is it explicitly, intentionally a speed running game? Cool, yeah. I love speedrunning. And speedrunning platformers too. I got like really into the Celeste speedrun for a while. I don't play personally, but like I'm on Twitch basically all day because I work from home now, like most people do. I guess most, you know, information workers do. So I always have, you know, Twitch on in the background or whatever, and like, yeah, I got super into the Celeste speedrun. That's an excellent platformer. You could definitely have some epic speedruns on a platformer designed for that, no question. It'd be really, again, too, like, I think that'll work really well with the grapple mechanic. Is this gonna work? I would be stunned. Yeah, that's it. Like, I don't think I have the patience, really, to sit down and grind the way these guys do. Because, like, you know, I'll watch people just, like, grind on this stuff for hours, right? And they'll be like recently I've been watching Arcus a lot. And, you know, I think he's, like, at, like, 50,000 attempts on Ninja Gaiden 1 or something like that. And he's the current world record holder. But, like, okay, you know, the Ninja Gaiden is, like, 12-minute speed run, but still 50,000 times 12 minutes is, like, insane, you know? Yeah, I agree. Celeste is, like, probably the best speed game I've literally ever seen in my life. It's, I think they got that game. It's an incredible game. Like everything about it, the gameplay is fantastic. The music is some of the best I've ever heard in any game. I mean, I love it. I love that game. Oh, this needs to happen earlier, or will be behind by a frame, which isn't the end of the world, but it's not what we want. Is this gonna run? I would be stunned if we got away with that. What the hell? Is that it? Is that actually... Is this correct? I'm floored if this worked. Yeah, the Celeste is incredibly well made. I agree. Like I have full confidence in your capability as a developer, but yeah, I agree. When someone's working alone, it's like impossible to do something that good. But I am excited to see yours, though. I think it's gonna have a lot of potential. Again, like your game will be the second. Okay, we don't quite work, but we're damn close to working. Yeah, I want to see yours. It's gonna be the only other grappling-based speedrun game I've ever seen. I think, like, I don't know. I know I'm coming back to it, but I just love that grapple mechanic. I am shocked at how close that was to just a copy and paste to make that work. So the only thing that is weird about this is it looks like I don't actually know why that happens. But you can see our cursor path hangs around for a few frames. That's... Oh, it's hanging around until the camera is unlocked. Oh, and yeah, I do know why it's happening. It's happening the frame after... It's happening because of this. I'm gonna move this over too. I bet this makes it go away. I don't know if I want this here or not, but I bet this makes it go away. Even if this works, the next move, obviously, is to refactor this now. Because now this is a... Well, okay, I mean, like, a 150-line file isn't, like, a disaster, but it's bigger than I like. Now I think... Wait, no, oh, hang on. Now I probably need to make a couple more changes here. This needs to be cursor, 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 cursor. Right? Oh god. Change that. And now I think this will work. Nope. Attempt. Where did I miss it? 121. Yes, cursor. I kind of like that crash. It's like confirmation that this isn't an illusion, that it works or something. I expected this to take 2 nights. I can't believe that I copied and pasted this and it worked. That is literally shocking to me. So let's see, I try to balance, I cancel. The balance canceled. I try to balance. I confirm. The balance confirmed. Move. Attack. Our attack is currently 3. I'm going to attack his attack, so he should be at 2. Shocking. Okay, it worked. Okay. Alright. Well, I was hoping to finish that this week, not 30 minutes into refactoring, so that's pretty nice. So let's see here. I guess let's commit this, and then start doing the more meaningful refactoring now. Because right now, we've moved stuff around. We still have bad architecture, but now we've moved it around. But now I'd like to go from, you know, less bad to good, hopefully. Take a look at this diff. Pretty straightforwardly a big old copy and paste. Refactor the cursor. Move battle logic. Move a significant chunk of game battle of the implementation out of cursor update and into the battle screen update loop. Okay. Oh, I didn't actually want these lines in there. Okay. So now there's stuff I want to start getting rid of. Like, I don't know if I can get rid of cursor selection. I guess really this is like the only thing that I could maybe get rid of, because the A-star path, the A-star pathfinder logically belongs to the cursor, as does the A-star path, as do cell coordinates. Selection maybe does or doesn't belong, I don't know. Last cursor position seems fine, and the frame counter for animation seems fine. So there's just a little bit of logic now to move out, I think. Me. Let me take a look at this. Maybe this doesn't get refactored as much as I kind of thought it needs to. Really, what's at stake is unit selected. I think everything else... Okay, let's... I think everything else belongs here. Let's take a look at that. Let's examine that. So yeah, the pathfinding stuff says, the cell says, this might come out. Last cursor position. This is bugged, but I think it is sensible to leave it there, though at some point I thought maybe it should go to player, I guess. Which I guess maybe would make sense also, I don't know. This certainly stays there. Cursor selected. See, that maybe is... I feel like that maybe should go into unit. And we get rid of this function and we just put in unit state or something. Cursor clear. What am I even calling this? What is that even for? Oh, I probably when I load a new map? What? Yeah, exactly, when I load a new map. Okay, that's fine, and in that case, this doesn't move anywhere. That's correct. Cursor draw obviously belongs to the cursor. Yeah, so really now it's just a question of does this cursor selected thing go away? And do we instead want like a selected flag on the unit? So what would that look like? So I'm not in love with this. Now I think about it, the way... Here, let me amend that commit again before I... Didn't I pull something out? I thought I... I'm just amending that commit because I don't want this, all this crap in my commit history. Obviously I should have gotten all that in the first commit, and that's what commit amend allows you to do. It's just change a commit. So I'm not thrilled with the way cursor selected works because it effectively makes two tests. It tests to see whether any unit is selected, and then if optionally passed a unit, it tests to see if that unit specifically is the unit that is selected. And that I've kind of overloaded that makes refactoring it away a little more challenging. I also don't think I like how I'm handling the camera and unit delays and stuff. Like, that's all really gross, so we'll touch that up when I figure out how to do it better. Initially I was thinking, like, you know, the animations idiom with the coroutines might be the way to do it, but now I'm less sure about that. I think I can refactor this. Thank you. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this mix I found, and this track is the best of this whole 10-hour mix. This is the Outrun theme from Commodore 64. I used to play a ton of this with my dad when I was a kid. I love this game. Let's try this. See, this might not be right. I don't think this is right. Yeah, it's not right. Let me back out of all of that. I don't know if I like that or not. Do I want any of this? Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't hate it. So I'm going to leave that alone for now. Maybe there's a better way to do that, maybe there is not. What I do hate, though... Let's see. I hate this now. There again is more... battle logic being implemented in here, like in these submenus, where I would, as is now the case with the cursor, I would like these menus to be relatively thin and dumb too, and move all the actual battle logic into this battle screen update loop, because that'll make it, one, just a lot more obvious to follow the code if there aren't unexpected and critically important side effects happening in like menu code somewhere, and it also make it a lot easier to pass data around. So I think that so my plan here is to rip out as much of this logic from where it does not belong, throw all of it into this battle loop, and then refactor this battle loop probably into a few different files, so we end up with a couple very clearly delineated code paths that we can decompose and make testable. And I wouldn't swear to this, but I think if we do that, then we can start removing these global variables here, because I'm a big believer in unit testing, and I really do want to write unit tests for as much of this game as I can, despite the fact that that's not all that common, is my understanding. And that'll be a lot cleaner to do if I don't have, references to the cursor global buried, everywhere. Because right now, like, I have like the cursor global and the maps global and the unit global and just these globals that I'm just kind of reaching into from all over the place. And again, I don't want that for the sake of clean tests and just sane architecture in general. But before I worry about that, let's rip out this code now and move it. So what's happening here? I don't like this, but again, we're not going to worry about it. Let's see, can I rip this out of here directly? Paste it here. I think I can. And then now self is not self. Self is menu turn end. No, it's no. This is stupid. This is now self is menu target. So what does that give us? If we do this, menu target. Now this is stupid, and stupid is what we want. Because here we can close the menu, and we can move our stat selector. And obviously draw belongs here. So let's see if our targeting menu works. Oh shit. What? Trailing? Let's see if that works. So I can choose a subsystem, I can close the menu, I can reopen the menu, I'll attack, we did do damage, so that fundamentally works. Now again, this likewise is making the code uglier, but again, the plan is we're going to make it worse before we make it better. So I don't care about that. So let's see, and then the balance menu. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. So there's still all these references like cursor.cell and stuff, and if we can improve upon that whole selection thing, what I would like is, you know, this query happens somewhere early, and then we're just passing around this unit, and that unit tracks its own state regarding whether it's selected or whatever. Some of that I guess we could actually fix now by just moving this guy up here. Oh, because this stuff... Yeah, right, because this... Logically, these menus will only ever be displayed if there's a human player. See, I think I need to split this file out into like 2 other paths or something, because fundamentally the game functions differently when there's a human or a CPU player, right? Like if you're playing a computer, you're not gonna like have all the menus available and a cursor and stuff. That's for the human, right? It's not for the computer. So I think that's the delineation to make. And then these menus, likewise, are only relevant when there's a human at the controls. So these are in the wrong spot and actually belong here. And then we can get rid of that unit crap by passing in this unit that we're checking for under the cursor. So yeah, fundamentally the strategy of moving stuff into this loop is going to work, I think. So again, let's make this a little bit worse before we make it better. I want the balance menu. I don't think there's anything in the turn menu, is there? Unit, cursor. Yeah, there's nothing to do here. This is already stupid. Oh yeah, camera is other global I'm reaching for all over the place. And again, it's not like that's so like some grave sin, but it's going to make the testing awkward, painful. I think I'd rather be kind of a functional purist, even though that's not really how game development is typically done. So let's see. So the balance menu, we update it's all this crap. Well, actually, is this so bad? Is that really so bad? What are we doing? We check to see if we should close the menu. That's fine. We move the stat selector. That must be here. We calculate state regarding the display. I'm not in love with the fact that we're updating the radius in here. That is impure, but it's not horrible. This should probably like return true or false, indicating whether or not the change was accepted, and then we can draw the radius if and only if it's necessary, something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'll leave that alone for now. I think it can be improved, but it's not terrible. What was terrible was implementing battle logic in a menu. That was terrible. That was offensive. That can come out. That can come out. Yeah, because there's like 3 loops we need to handle. There's a 1-player game, and we need to handle the 1-player code path, and then the 1-player human code path, the 1-player CPU code path, and then the 2-player code path with 2 humans. So there's like 3 code paths to worry about. So did we break this? And let's rebalance and blow this guy up and see what happens. So we attack his attack. And we blow him up. Okay, that all seems to work. So we're getting there. Let's take a close look at our diff again. So we are ripping battle logic out of menu target. That is correct. That's what we wanted. For some comments. We transplant that battle logic into the menu target like code path on the battle update loop. That's still not perfect, but it's whatever. We had a comment. That looks good. So refactor menu target, remove battle logic, remove battle logic implementation out of the menu target update loop and into the battle screen update loop. And now I just want to move. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. And now I just want to refactor this. So this stuff now, this is not correct. The location of this stuff. We should be able to rip all of that out and put it here. So if it's a human taking their turn, only in that case do we care about showing menus. The computer doesn't need menus. Before I test that, let's start another SID track here. Oh wait, in a minute anyway. Okay. So, what? I can see the turn menu, and it works. I can see the balance menu. I can cancel a change, and it canceled. I can confirm a change, and it confirmed. And my attacks land. Okay. Alright, getting there, getting there. Refactor screen battle. Move menu logic. Start a SID here. So we move I guess menu logic solely into a human player code path. I guess that communicates the idea. Okay. Oops. So now what do we have? This is not critical. But now let's see if we can refactor out some of this cursor stuff. Oh, it'd also be nice. Well, I think I want to update the cursor before I do anything. Because now unit is defined, unit and index, and kind of the whole plan is to use these things to start whittling away add these globals. So like so like cursor.cell, can that become unit? I think so. Unit attack, menu target unit, and that must... that's a different unit. That's the enemy unit. That's correct. Wait. Oh, right, that's a system. Cursor.cell.stack. See, this is now unit. And menu target index. I think you can now just become index, and we no longer need to bind that on open. Right? And then this becomes unit activate. Let's try that much, and then if that works, then let's try to get rid of this menu target index property and just use IDX, which I think we could eventually refactor that away. But I don't want to bother yet. So what is that? The targeting menu. So let's see if that still works. I think I just noticed that my cursor didn't return to me. So I attack, the menu appears. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, right. That's not great. That's happening because we're updating the cursor. And see, there are two ways we can solve this. One would be to check that no menus are visible, and if and only if that's true, then update, but that's gross. I guess we could update the cursor. We could just be one frame behind. Right? This would still work. The cursor is still somewhere now. It's just... No, that's a horrible idea. Horrible idea. Horrible idea. Not doing it. Because then we're going to get all out of state. It's going to be all weird. No, screw that. Horrible idea. Okay, I'm going to back out of all this. Yeah. Horrible idea. So really, what we need, I think, before I, like, kind of nitpick that, is to resolve the broader structural problem with this now. I'm not giving up on the nitpick refactoring, but I don't love this 180 line file we have here now. And surely some of this would decompose into a smaller, like more narrowly purposed file, right? And then once we do that, we'll have a little bit better control of the flow of our game. And then we can start picking nits again. So let's see. So I mean, here's the fundamental distinction. There's, if this is a human turn, or if this is a CPU turn. I think now we're facing the hardest problem in computer science, and that's naming this thing, naming what we want to call this thing. We want to take all this, rip it out, throw it somewhere. I don't know what do we want to call it though. So like within this human path, we have a couple of different game flows. We're going to be looking at a menu. Or we can be looking at the map. I'm almost tempted to create like a menu screen, but I feel like that would backfire. I feel like that would backfire. And I say that because on the battle screen, that's where we're drawing the map and the radii and the units, and I could either duplicate all this code not that it's a ton of code, but I don't know. It's not like a disastrous idea. And it would have that approach, I think, would have the advantage of directing the focus, so to speak, of our inputs. So we wouldn't have that situation we saw a minute ago where I'd press up and both the menu and the cursor would move. Because right now there's no concept within the game of focus, right? I'm just reading input state, but I'm not, directing that anywhere. I might want to think about this before I start making changes. So let me make one or two other changes tonight, and then we'll probably wrap up in half an hour or something. I'm actually really happy with how this refactoring has been going. And I don't think we've destroyed the game. So let's do this. Let's double check that we haven't destroyed the game. Let's go ahead and actually blow this guy up. Oh, and I just uncovered... Okay, so we can blow him up. I just uncovered a small thing, too. The game looks like it is in a weird state if it allows you to try to move when you have no movement points. So, is that easy to fix? Okay, well, let's assume that this game is not ruined. So let's rebase master on this refactor branch, I guess. Let's push this guy, make sure we're current. Yeah. So now that we're let's stop working on big brain stuff tonight because I need to think more about that. And let's fix one or two bugs and do some quality of life stuff here. So that thing I just encountered. That's actually a little bit tricky too, because no, it's not. It's not tricky. So, wait, target. Okay, so if we attack the enemy unit, we deactivate all their units, except for this guy. And then we end our turn if the selected unit is exhausted. That's not fully correct. We should end the turn if he's exhausted, or cursor.cell.stat.move is equal to 0. Because we need to check not only if he has moved, and really I could probably actually get rid of the exhausted method entirely. Yeah, for the sake of saving a few lines of code, which actually really matters in Pico 8. Oops, that's units. Unit. Let's get rid of this. So here, let's back out of that. Let's come back to that. We don't want self.cell exhausted, we want self.cell.move because we know we can't attack because we just did that. Right? $3 a.m. Yeah, sounds good, Kanebo. Sleep well. Good to see you again. Have a good day tomorrow. We'll see you next time. So we don't need exhausted because we know we just attacked. So if we have also moved, we know we are exhausted. We can get rid of that. Let's mark this. And then conversely here, if we've attacked, we know we're exhausted because we just moved. So now we're still going to have our bug. But the logic should be the same. Let's go beat this guy up again. That works. Okay. And then so now we fix our bug. So if we have moved, or we haven't moved but we have no movement points, or cursor.cell.stat.move is equal to 0, and likewise wait. If we've attacked, or cursor.cell.stat.attack is equal to 0. Because we can't attack. If our attack is 0. And I think on this one, I want range is 0 too. Because we can't attack if our range is 0. So that's just like a, I guess, a quality of life thing, even though it feels more like a bug. So let's see. We have fixed the bug if what? We go, we attack that guy. We set our range, we set our movement to 0. We attack him again. Our turn should end immediately. That's what we're testing to see now. So we balance our guy. Why did our turn end? Was that correct? I feel like that wasn't correct. I move. Okay, something's not correct. What did I do? Did I just get the property name wrong or something stupid? ATK RNG MOV. What did I do? If we have attacked, or our attack strength is 0. Oh, I didn't put the equals 0. Okay, yeah. Or range is 0. So let's rebalance. Now, what? We need to rebalance, set our movement to 0. Now I attack, and I should lose my turn. Good. Okay. Let's blow him up. Good. Okay. Right. Deprecate unit exhausted, and automatically end a player's turn when appropriate if their attack, range, or movement is 0. So there's that, and then what else did I want to do? The other thing that is annoying, you guys can't see this because you got to be on the keyboard, but the turn end thing can be slightly annoying. What would I like? Is this even possible? When I balance, it ends automatically. That's painless and correct. I think what I would like is if you have taken an action, you have either fired or moved, and there's a radius displayed, and the cursor is on the unit, I would like it if you could press the yes button again to bring up the turn menu. Because right now I have to cancel the radius, then cancel, end turn. So I canceled twice, then I have to hit confirm. And there's kind of more thought involved in that than I want. I kind of wish I could just, you know, move, and I don't want to attack this turn, and I wish I could just like spam X and my turn's over. So let's see how much work it would take to get that wired up. I don't want to waste, you know, a ton of time on quality of life stuff, given that the game, you know, is still plainly unfinished, not even close, right? But at the same time, this kind of thing would even make just testing and developing more pleasant. So let's see. If there's a unit, and the unit's our friend, and the unit is selected, and it has not acted, open balance, I think we can do this. There's a unit, and the unit is our friend, and and unit acted, right? Then open the turn end menu. Is that going to work? After that refactoring, I like how literate this is now. That's fairly easy to follow. And that'll be pretty easy to test, too. So I click a guy, I move him, my cursor's on him, I click again, I get the end turn menu, I can end my turn. Yeah, great. That's just a lot friendlier. That's a lot friendlier than all this canceling and stuff. That's great. Make it easier to display the turn end menu after a unit has taken an action. Let's rebase our refactor branch on master, because we're not done refactoring yet. I just don't want to do the big brain stuff anymore tonight. What are we looking at here? There's still one big bug in our radius calculation. In terms of QOL, this is more of a game concern and less of a development testing concern too, but I still do want a mechanism to make it possible to permanently display an enemy's movement and attack radii. That's in Fire Emblem Three Houses, and it's like my favorite feature from any turn-based tile tactical game. Let's see. Where are we size-wise? We're at 5,500 of 82. I'm starting to get nervous about some of these limits we're approaching, because I do want this to remain a valid pick-a-weight cartridge. I think it's possible to like bundle cartridges or something, but I want to stay true to the spirit of pick-a-weight here and not make this file any bigger than the 32 kilobytes. And I guess what I'm nervous about is I don't know what compressed actually means. I don't know if this stuff accounts for music and art, of which we have none currently. The one thing I did notice, and this is good news for us, so notice we're at 5,509 characters. I noticed that whatever, cursor. I noticed that that does count comments, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to spam this a bunch. There's a bunch of comments we put in. So we're at 5509, and now we're at... Wait, what the hell? Am I wrong? I did this like yesterday. Does it not? I thought it was counting comments. I literally did this yesterday. I don't understand. $47.44. What the hell? I was like really sure that it counted these comments. Oh, I'm looking at tokens. Yes. Right. Yeah, there would be no tokens in the comment. Yeah, okay, so cars. So 47553. $45. Yeah, so the character limit is not that intimidating right now because this is pretty well documented code, well commented code. And according to Slock, we've got, 1,800 lines of Lua and 360 lines of comments. So if we need to reach for some dirty tricks here, I already have in the make file or I think maybe I don't have it yet. I guess I didn't wire this up yet. But there's there are Lua minifiers available that'll strip comments and uglify Lua and, rename vars to, short nonsense or whatever. So we could do that if we need to free up some space. And what I would do, like I had mentioned before, I hate Webpack and the whole culture of transpiling any language, essentially. But what we could do is, instead of having, a dozen includes here, we would, use make to use the uglifier to generate like a bundle.lua, and we would include bundle.lua, right? So that way we would be able to write very nice, clean code, but just run make between builds and uglify everything and serve out the comments, and that way our distribution file wouldn't suffer from any bloat from the comments and stuff. And likewise, if we do this, oh look, there's a typo. Externalize. Likewise, what I would like to do, again, just for the sake of proper software engineering, is find like a Java doc type tool for functions and actually more formally document these things and write a make job to spit out autodocs for this project. And again, given that we have the option to uglify this, that doesn't conflict with our interests of wanting to produce a small distribution executable. So that's good. So I'm not going to do that until the absolute last minute. I'm not going to do that until we hit that limit, because it will make it a little bit more of a pain in the ass to debug, and it'll also force me to run make every time I need to save and load the game. That'll be a pain in the ass, but it'll be worth it, So let's see. Yeah, I think I'll probably wrap up there for the night, but next time if I figure out the big brain refactoring between now and next time, we'll pick up and refactor the battle screen some more. That's what I should be working on. If I can't figure that out, we might start working on some of the animations or something. There are a handful of annoying bugs floating around. I think I will probably attack those later, like after the animations and stuff are in place, just because that's going to be kind of like annoying, kind of back and forth. And I think we still are at risk of breaking some things as we make these changes. So I'd rather just like break everything, then fix everything in one pass versus this playing whack-a-mole with bugs as we create them. I think that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, next time is probably going to be tomorrow. I'll probably stream tomorrow, and we will probably either refactor or we'll work on some animations. Or if I get it wired up too, and I don't feel up mentally for programming, we might also screw around with starting to make some sound effects, because I think that'll be like a lot of fun. But anyway, thanks for having for hanging out. Hope you all have a good night, and we will see you next time. Take care.